The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
Christianity, along with all other theistic belief systems, is the fraud of the age. It serves to detach the species from the natural world, and likewise each other.
We find that Christianity was in fact nothing more than a Roman story, developed politically.
It doesn't take a lot of ingenuity to figure this scam out. In 1783, America won its independence from England. However, its battle against the central bank concept and the corrupt, greed-filled men associated with it had just begun. A world banking system was being set up here, a superstate controlled by international bankers, acting together to enslave the world for their own pleasure. The Fed has usurped the government. The Federal Reserve is a private corporation. It is about as Federal Express. The federal income tax is completely unconstitutional. Since the inception of the Federal Reserve in 1913, a number of large and small wars have commenced. September 11th was the jumpstart for what is now an accelerated agenda by the ruthless elite.
There were no warning signs that I'm aware of.
The way the structure is collapsing, this was the result of something that was planned.
It was a staged war pretext no different than the sinking of the Lusitania, the provoking of Pearl Harbor, and the Gulf of Tonkin lie. In fact, if 9/11 wasn't a planned war pretext, it would be an exception to the rule. The Patriot Act, Homeland Security, the Military Tribunals Act, and other legislations are all completely and entirely designed to destroy your civil liberties and limit your ability to fight back against what is coming.
They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking.
The people in power go out of their way to make sure that you are perpetually misled and manipulated.
You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube, you eat like the tube, you raise your children like the tube, you even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs.
The last thing the men behind the curtain want is a conscious, informed public capable of critical thinking, which is why a continually fraudulent zeitgeist is output. Religion, patriotism, race, wealth, class, and every other form of arbitrary, separatist identification and thus conceit has served to create a controlled population, utterly malleable in the hands of the few.
You know how long it took me to train this monkey to suck my dick?